This frame is from the Phase 1 P65 Plus using a Phase 1 28mm D lens. The overall exposure is correct. However, the rock formations are lacking somewhat in contrast and saturation, and there's a deep shadow lacking tonality or detail or texture at the bottom of the frame. Let's begin by addressing the contrast. By raising the contrast to around 10, the rock formations gain the contrast that I'm looking for. However, the deep shadow at the bottom has now become even darker. Switching to the Lens Correction tab, I can use the LCC tool as a type of HDR. I select LCC, Analyze Excluding Dust. The name presented will be the same as the raw file, and that's fine. Capture 1 is going to evaluate which areas of the frame are dark and which areas of the frame are light, and make adjustments to even those out. In addition, it makes corrections to color, which are, in this case, not at all appropriate. Unchecking Color Cast, we'll see the effects of just the light fall-off correction, before and after. The areas that were light in the frame, such as the clouds at the top, have only been changed somewhat. The areas of the frame, like the bottom shadow, which are dark, have been greatly lightened. The effect is obviously far too much. At the bottom there is a light fall-off slider, currently set 100%. Dropping the slider down to around 35%, we'll see the frame remains overall natural, while the areas at the bottom, the shadow, have been lifted. Because the overall frame has also been slightly lightened, we'll go back into the Quick tab and reduce exposure down to 0. Because the overall scene contrast has been lowered somewhat, we may choose to add a few more points of contrast to the image. At the very top of the frame, the clouds, which started off correct, have been slightly darkened in the corners. Starting a new adjustment layer called Clouds Dodge, we can add a dodge of approximately half a stop and paint that dodge into the image. We see that half a stop is too much, so we can now fine-tune that dodge back down to around 1/3 of a stop.